everybody, and welcome back to Wednesday Out, India's only portal that covers gender stories, but from the other side. Last month, the very popular quiz show, Kaun Banega Crorepati, aired a particular section where a female contestant made certain allegations on her husband. While the accusations have been of serious nature, accusing him of domestic violence, we bring to you the other side of the story today, the side of the husband. But before that, let's first watch the clipping and then the interview. Welcome back to Wednesday Out, and joining with us is Mr. Vinay Khare. Hi Vinay, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Arnaz, for giving me this opportunity.
Vinay, just before doing this interview, we played the actual clip which was played out at the KBC show, which aired last month. And as I was discussing with you, the reason you are here today with us is not because we want to, defame or run a media trial or want to do, one-sided allegations on the other party. But I think it is only fair that since certain very serious accusations have been made against you on national media, it is only fair that you also get an equal opportunity to put out your side of the story. So before we begin, Vinay, what was your first reaction when you saw this footage being played on Kaun Banega Crorepati?
I think disappointment and a feeling of being sad is the first thing, because I have spent a very long time with her. I mean, we got married in the year 2003, so it's been a very long time. I stayed with her. Now we have grown up kids, and she going in a national channel talking like this. So it was a sense of disappointment that, I mean, that's a matter that we are that we are fighting already in courts, and now talking on a national channel like this. I mean, I really felt bad. And adding to that, after the program was aired, I think within 10 minutes, I started getting calls from all my relatives, my ex-friends who work with me in various offices, in various companies. They all started calling, what happened, how it happened. It is sad to see. So that added to the disappointment and sort of a very sad and letting down type feeling that, I mean, it was between us, and at some point of time, we were husband and wives, and I'm still trying to ensure that her dignity is not harmed in various platforms. And somewhere I also expected the same from her.
Sure. So Vinay, just tell us a little brief, when did you get married? For how many years did you stay together? And how did the separation actually happen?
Yeah. So we got married in the year 2003. Actually, it was a love marriage, and we got married by the will of each other. So, after the marriage, I studied in Ahmedabad, IIM Ahmedabad, for another year, and that was actually a compulsory hostel type arrangement. You cannot stay outside the campus if you're studying over there. And for the post-graduation students, there was no family quarters available. So I had to stay alone over there. and my wife stayed at her home back in Gwalior for another year. And I got a job in a bank, and I moved to Mumbai. And after settling down there, I took a house on rent and got it furnished. And then I called her to my place, and we started living together. See, it's very natural that we are grown up in different houses with different type of cultures. Everything is different. Food type, the way we talk, everything is really different in every home. So initially there were some frictions. Like I have brothers only, my elder brother, my cousin brother. So we were grown up with boys only. Now suddenly I started living with a girl, and living with a girl forever. So uh, there were a lot of things which I wouldn't even consider were important to her. So I started adjusting, and she also started adjusting. And for the first year or so, there were many quarrels, but they were all small quarrels, as it happens in every home. Then, as the time passed by, uh, I got a transfer in Bangalore for another company, and there she got pregnant, and that was the first time my wife got pregnant, and I was really worried, and so I tried my best, got the best doctors, and once the doctor said that she's underweight and she should gain weight, so I googled out and made some formulation of my own, and tried, and I succeeded. In the next 15-20 days, the doctor said no, she's up to the mark and she's doing well. So by the time her delivery time came, we were back in Mumbai, and she delivered my elder daughter in Mumbai. And I mean, I was on the seventh heaven that day, but there were some frictions with her mother that actually spoiled the mood. But still, I mean, I was really happy. I distributed sweets in my office, and I was in the building, wherever possible. And I think after the first daughter was born, the frictions became took a little more serious turn, if I can say. And um, the I mean, there were two, three things which I could never understand, uh, and they are like, uh, I will not follow you, regardless of the downside for it. So if I'm saying the daughter has just started crawling, and there are electrical switches very close to the ground, you should put something. I just observed while I was going to the office. Said, no, I will not do it. You will only have to do it. So I called my office and I said, I'll be late today. And I plugged those holes. So, I mean, there was a sense of belligerence, which was always there. But I was trying hard to adjust with that. So whatever you do, whatever you say, regardless of how good or bad it is, because it has come from me, it has not to be followed, and that's not something which will happen in marriage. And the other problem was a very strong tendency to rule the house. See, we as husband wives, we are partners. We are supposed to be collaborators. I am good in something, she is good in something, and we both are living together forever. Until the time we are alive, we're supposed to live together. We are having children, and they are going to have their lives. So it's not something that uh, I will compete with my wife and I'll get a better grade, or I'll compete with my wife and I'll get higher promotion somewhere. No, it's not like that. It's a common pool of resources. It's a common pool of talent, and that's how it should be. But I don't know. Unfortunately, it went in a wrong way over there, and she had a very strong sense of competing with me. She had a very strong sense of ruling over me. That okay, Whatever I am saying has to be followed blindly without questioning. Now, this is something which created, you know, problems of all types of natures. I mean, many of them were small, but many of them were really big, and many of them were really, really bothering. So, nevertheless, we spent a lot of good time together. So we also went to various places. At least while we were in Bangalore, we used to go every weekend. So we enjoyed a lot over there. Then came back. We also went to Udaipur. We also went to 2, 3 more places. Enjoyed. And but well, these problems, gradually started becoming more and more serious. So, I mean, I made something related to solar energy. I said, okay, please help me. I want to take some readings at how much energy it is collecting. You just have to go upstairs and take the reading and come back. I don't know why she refused. She didn't even take the readings, and I was stuck in the office. I cannot take daily readings. And I have to shelve that project just for the fact that she didn't take readings. Now, several such things happened. And from my side, I can tell you, Arnas, that I had been trying. I mean, my brother, cousin brother, he stayed with me for 3 months when he got a job in. Her brother stayed with me for full 1 year, and I tried my level best to ensure that he gets settled somewhere. He gets a job, and when he got a job, the final assignment that he had to submit to get the job, I got it made personally. I sat with him. I remember that day, it was a festive day, and I sat with him, completed the Excel, completed the presentation with him to ensure that he gets that job. I mean, so whatever I can do from my end, I had done. But then it goes back again.
Right.
I mean, the tendency to rule comes back again.
So, Vinay, while you are narrating about this, the frictions that you would have in your domestic relationship, and what you are saying is, problems which could occur in any marriage. The first year of marriage is going to be difficult for any couple. However, in the program, she has actually made very serious allegations where, she said that she was a victim of domestic violence, which kind of, in a sense, says that perhaps there was physical violence on her. She also mentioned about her ear being ruptured after the delivery of the first child. Could you share some details on what she was talking about?
Yeah. So before I begin, I would like to tell you one thing, that the cases wherein people talk about domestic violence happens behind closed doors. So you don't really know what has happened. And this is the biggest problem, that when your intentions are not correct, you can say anything. And unfortunately, the society believes in it. Now coming back to my specific situation, wherein she says that her ear was ruptured. Now in another case, this thing, I also said the same thing, that rupturing of ear has large number of reasons. Rupturing of ear can be for various reasons. It is not just because of a physical violence she can have a eardrum ruptured, right? So she got this problem, and this is an event back of 2006, which is like some 15 years old event. I don't even remember fully what happened that day, but all I remembered is that she had a problem, and we went to the hospital, got some graft implanted in her eardrum, and post that she was fine. And I never even gave attention to that.
I would like to, actually interrupt here and say that if there was physical violence, as she is alleging, and you're saying you had gone to the hospital, naturally there should have been, some kind of, intervention from her family, or some kind of a police report, if you would have perhaps beaten her and got her to the hospital. Was there any kind of report filed during that time?
I think this is a very good point, Arnaz, that if something was wrong that happened at that time, there has to be some repercussion, something like a police report, something like her parents coming down to Mumbai, something like her parents talking to my parents, talking to me, something which is out of normal.
Even when you go to the hospital, the first question the doctor would ask is, how did she, get the ear erupted? I mean, if there has been physical violence, I'm sure the doctors would also question you before treating the patient. So, yes.
That's correct. Because there would be other evidences or maybe other injuries as well. If it were something like a domestic violence or something like a physical, abuse or something like that, there has to be something else as well apart from that. But there's nothing like that. There is no police complaint. There's no police complaint even after 15 years of happening of that. I mean, if there was something like this and if it was actually so serious, there should have been something that should have happened around that time, accepting, the treatment that we had taken. So, I mean, it's really, and what happens is that, see, Arnaz, it's a long life that we live together, and it is full of eventualities. I also travel through local train and all. I also get injured. She is also doing so many activities, taking care of the kid, doing other things. She can also get injured. She can get sick. She can get ill. She can have some problems. I mean, this is all part of life. And as I told you before, that since all these things happen behind closed doors, it is very easy to attribute everything to one thing. I mean, retrospectively speaking, you divert everything. Okay, this happened. This also happened because of domestic. This happened. This also happened. So, I mean, there's no end to this.
So, and 15, 16 years, she is kind of linking those small events and naming it as domestic violence, which you are completely refuting. You are saying there was no physical violence from your end. What existed was mere frictions that would happen in any matrimonial life.
Right. My second daughter was also 4 years when she left. And the reason why I didn't stop her that day was that these quarrels were actually becoming more and more serious because of certain mistakes that she committed. And they were affecting children. And children were thinking that, I am doing something wrong. So I thought it is high time that, I should not stop her. And she should realize what she's doing. So I didn't stop her and she went on.
And which year was this? When did you actually separate?
This is in July 2018.
Right. So from 2003 till 2018, you lived as a couple. And
yes.
last over 3 years now, you have been separated.
Yes.
Will you share with us what is the current situation as on date? Have there been cases in court? What are the cases? And we want very brief details because we don't want to really run a media trial here. We just want to understand where does the case stand as of now.
Yeah. So there are the cases filed by her are domestic violence, section 125, and after a year she filed 498A. Domestic violence and 125 were filed in 2019 after I stopped sending money to her, after our talks failed actually. After that, after waiting for 2 months, she filed these 2 cases. And then I still didn't send her money. So after a year, that is June 2020, she filed 498A.
So
and then subsequently
means that she is accusing you of dowry harassment. Am I right?
Yes.
So you were married in 2003. In 2018, you separated. There were no charges, no allegations of dowry at that time. After separation, after 2 years of separation, there is a dowry harassment case on you.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate, and let me tell you, Arnaz, that this is the thing that really hurts you very badly, because of the fact that I had decided myself that I will never take dowry and I will make everything by myself. So, and I did everything. So we stayed in furnished homes for the first 4 years. In 2008, we took a sample flat, which was completely furnished. We went in with only our clothes. We didn't had it, even had a TV. My elder brother gave me a TV. Everything I built from scratch. Everything on my own. And as a case fact, in the domestic violence and the 498A, I have submitted a CA statement which states that between 2011 and 2019, I had transferred some 39 lakh rupees into her account for her pocket money. This is separate from the amount that I had transferred to build her business, which is another fortune of around 20-25 lakh rupees.
This
I mean, with all this.
in the court. You put this on record in the court.
This, yes. So I had submitted this as a CA statement, basis my bank account statements, that this is the amount, and please consider this as an evidence. Now, with this background, she mentions that in November 2019, I went to her place and asked for 2 lakh rupees and a four-wheeler, which is mentioned in 498A. Which is also filed after 8 months of the alleged date that she is saying. So the facts appear really sketchy, you know, that you are filing it after 17 years. You are putting me in court for something that I never did. And in fact, I am a person who always wanted to ensure that she stands on her own. She has her own standing in the society. So I tried really hard, Arnaz, and I am proud of myself saying this, that I even went ahead and filed a patent in her name. Developing a new process which is commercially viable is a very technically complex subject. And something I did for her. I opened a company. I invested heavy amounts. Almost all of my savings got drained in that. I did everything of this sort. And today I'm fighting 498A, domestic violence, maintenance. And mind it, Arnaz, I have lost my job because of 498A. And today I am jobless. My savings are dwindling. And I am fighting a maintenance case. I mean, and she is running a business which has sales in India, US, New Zealand, I don't know how many countries. So, I mean, this is something which is really very odd, that I have lost a job because of the situations that were not created by me. And today I am fighting a case for paying maintenance to her. So this is really an irony that on one side, I don't have money. On the other side, I'm fighting a case for maintenance.
Right. Vinay, today your daughters are 16 and 7. And
15 and 7.
15 and 7. What is your equation with them? Are you in touch with them? Do you speak to them on a daily basis? Or how is the equation like?
So I met them last in December. Over this time, I was able to meet with them twice. One was in May 19 and the other was in December 20. So I was able to meet for 4-5 days. And the younger daughter is still in touch with me. Yes. And she called me through Google Hangout. I also call her through Google Hangout. My elder daughter, unfortunately, I don't know why she has stopped talking to me since I have filed the Guardians and Wards Act case. Yeah.
She did mention about your elder daughter as well in that footage, where she said that it was her at the age of 12 who actually motivated her to leave the matrimonial home, citing domestic violence in the house. Were you aware of any kind of communication between the mother and daughter at that time?
See, Arnaz, the thing that because of domestic violence she has gone is something which is totally out of the realm of whatever may have happened, even in the remotest imagination. The fact was that she decided to leave the home on her own for two reasons. And one of the reasons I'll not be able to cite because it would be against her dignity. It is a mistake she committed which no spouse on this earth, be it a modern country, a Western country, or Indian countries, or third world, or Southeast Asia, no spouse would actually forgive such mistake. I forgave that mistake once, she did again. And that was the primary reason. The other reason is that she always said that she wanted to leave, and I would persuade her not to leave. And at that time, probably she felt that I didn't stop her. And I didn't stop her because I could see that my children were getting affected because of these quarrels. And I don't want to be, a selfish father that, okay, my children will be with me, but they'll have to face so much for being with me. It was really painful parting away with them. It's like, it's like cutting your own organs. Probably they also get healed, but parting away with children is like a nightmare. It still haunts me. But I still feel that, now they're not able, now at least they are not witnessing those fights that were happening because of those mistakes. So it's something that I had to that I had to sacrifice to ensure that they get a good environment, that they don't see our quarrels. Uh, this is this is fact.
No, I mean, this is a situation which, most of the separated fathers face in India. And unfortunately, the society only believes one side of the story. Uh, you have now gone ahead and filed a defamation case on your wife as well as the channel for airing those one-sided allegations, which kind of defamed you. As you said, you started getting calls from your relatives, your ex-colleagues, and a show which is perhaps not watched nationally, but even globally by many people. So what is it that you have, mentioned in the notice? What is it that you want? Do you want an apology, or what is it that you have asked for?
Yeah. So from the channel, I want an apology that they have aired something which was somebody's opinion. It was not. It was meant for entertainment, and here somebody's opinion is getting aired, and that too. The biggest problem is that those things that she stated were being contested in court, and it was a judge who was supposed to actually tell that domestic violence happened or not. If it were not that, she would have filed the cases, and then she would have told something like an experience of her life. It would have been different. But she filed those cases, and she came to the public and actually gave the verdict that the violence happened. I mean, this is a big irony. And Sony channel, the studio next, the producer of the show, they all allowed that to happen. At the same breath, Armas, I want to ask the channel, you know, if I am a terrorist and some case is going on me, and I come to KBC and I start telling a story which is against the national interest, will KBC air that? Or will KBC also hear the story of what India has to say, what this country has to say, what the other side has to say? So that was something which was really surprising. I mean, I always hear that there was something like phone a friend or something that was always there in KBC. I mean, it's like Mr. Bachchan could have just picked up a phone and asked, okay, what happened to you, beta? And why have you separated? What is the other side of the story? He's of the age of my father, and I have a huge respect for him. He could have made an attempt to reconcile. He has a very strong, say in the society, in the media, everywhere. Everyone sees him. probably if you could have said something to my wife or to me, we could have been sitting somewhere and talking rather than fighting a defamation case. And today, as we speak, you know, we are fighting this case. My mother is to undergo surgery on 24th, which is on Friday. She is a kidney cancer survivor. She has got some 4 major surgeries already done. And, Mr. Bachchan could have ensured that we could have lived together. Now that situations are like this, I don't know if Mr. Bachchan can today tell me where should I take my mother? Who will take care of her?
For any media, whether it is national media or social media, I think this also should become a learning that, while it is nice to project, the side of the story, what a woman narrates, and, it may gain a lot of TRPs at the end of the day. But there is this other side of the story which also needs to be told. And, in the bargain, as media, everybody must realize that you are tarnishing somebody's image. You are, pronouncing the person as a convict even before the court gives their judgment. So I really hope that, this incident, does become like a precedent where people don't air, especially when it comes to domestic disputes, people don't air one side of the story on national media. Lastly,
I fully agree.
Also, can you share what is the defamation notice sent to your wife in this matter?
See, she had, aired her opinions through various mediums, not just KBC. She went to Instagram and all as well. And the thing is that the notice is around this only, that there were cases that were listed in various courts and we were contesting them and telling something, going ahead of the judgment of the court and saying something in public which can be seen by crores of people. Even, I would say that even if a judgment would have been made, it is not important for you to go out in public and tell everybody that this happened. Any which ways, the defamation case primarily says this only, that you are very well aware that the cases are pending in courts, and you went ahead and defamed me. You went ahead and talked about something which tarnishes my image in the society, in my profession, and in various walks of life. So it is primarily around this.
Right. Do you think this will also hamper your prospects in career? So say tomorrow you go for a job interview, and now since, your name would be on a lot of social media websites, portals, do you think this episode is going to hamper your career prospects as well?
Just to tell you, Arnaz, this has already impacted my career very, very badly. So as we speak, I'm struggling to establish myself. I tried a lot. I could not get a break, I could not get a new job. I am currently trying to establish a company of my own. I'm currently studying somewhere to upgrade my credentials. But you rightly said that, in today's corporate world, nobody would care for someone who is, involved in 6-7 cases, ongoing cases, because every other day I would have to go and attend some date or something. So it has impacted my career prospects really, really bad. And that is another area of concern, because my daughters are growing up and will not be able to do as much as I would have if the situation wouldn't have been like this.
Sure. Vinay, before we end, there are a lot of other men like you who are also going through similar situations. In your case, you lived with a person for nearly 15 years. And, now, as you said, in the last 3 years, you've only met them twice, your daughters per se. There are a lot of men who, kind of completely get shattered. They kind of, take extreme steps in such situations. Do you have a message for them, how to deal with this situation and, yet stay strong?
Yeah, I think this is a very important point, Arnaz, and I was myself under depression for almost 2 years. And now it is only now that I have come out that and I've started fighting back. The clear message I want to give is that you should remain social. You should not cocoon yourself. That is a very, very important thing. You should talk to your friends. You should talk to your well-wishers. You should express yourself to the people whom you can trust upon. And that in itself helps a lot. And, there are certain things which are beyond your control. And all you can do is you can put up your efforts. And if you get shattered, and if you think of taking extreme steps, one of my very, very good friend and my mentor told me one day that when I was also about to take an extreme step, that tell me, brother, if you will die, what will the world remember about you? What will the world think about you? They will believe only the other side of the story. So it's better you fight back. It's better you fight back with yourself and with your counterpart, so that you are able to spread the word. You are able to spread the word into the society so that such cases don't happen again. So this is a message I would like to give to my fellow brothers and sisters.
Thank you. That's wonderful for you, because I think this is, the crux of the matter, because legal battles go on for years and decades. But even for us,
and they are very harassing.
Objective is, how do you actually, bring the person back into his normal life, after going through, a series of events which you would have never expected. So on that note, we would like to end this interview, Vinay. Thank you very much for joining us.
I would like to give a finishing statement before we go on.
Before that, I would just want to say that again, that this matter is subjudice in the courts. We are not trying to, say the woman is right or the man is right. But since there has been a public footage, a national media coverage on what the allegations have been made by the wife, I think it was only fair that the husband also came and narrated his side of the story. So that's it from my end. And
I've tried putting the facts that either I have submitted as evidences or the cases as well. If I have accidentally expressed any opinion, I apologize for that. Which may cross, judgments and all. So I apologize for that. But the important message I want to give is to my wife is that I wish her all the best in life. I want that she excels in her life, and I really want that she, fulfills my dream that one day she goes ahead and lists the company in our stock exchanges. She runs an international and prospering business, and ensure that my daughters also get a very good and a happy life. So all the best to you, my wife. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Arnaz.
Thank you. And we wish both of you all the best, and hopefully these legal battles come to an end soon and all can live a happy life once again. Thank you very much for joining us. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, Arnaz, for giving me an opportunity. Thank you.